And what do you think about putting that in the show today?
Absolutely. I really like that. But how did you come up with that?
I was just thinking about what's the best way to serve the guys today on the MD and Chef Team show.
Yeah, and I was thinking, what about adding something like this to one of the pillars, just to empower, to equip them?
Beautiful. Oh, and may I say, speaking of beautiful, you look exceptionally gorgeous today, my dear.
Thank you, Ben.
Oh my gosh, I just noticed. I think it's time for the MD and Chef Team show.
Yay! Let's go!
The content in this show is for informational purposes only. It is not intended for medical advice. It does not take the place of medical advice or treatment from a physician or health professional. Listeners and viewers should consult their own doctor or a qualified healthcare professional for specific health and wellness concerns and questions. And now, let's start the MD and Chef Team show.
Hi, and welcome to the MD and Chef Team show. I'm nutritional chef Michael, brain health expert, joined by my beautiful wife, Isabel, medical doctor, suicide survivor, and my wife. Been together for 43 years. Yes, we're excited about being here with you today. Hello, my dear. How you been?
Great. Haven't seen you for a couple of seconds now.
Yeah. What a beautiful day. And we're so excited to be with you here today. It's a beautiful summer day here. We're coming worldwide on the NGBN network. And you might be wondering, what do you mean summer? Well, we're broadcasting worldwide here from New Zealand. Yeah,
yes.
On Thursday. And it could be your Wednesday. How cool is that? Amazing technology brings us worldwide into your home, wherever you may be watching this.
We love it.
Yeah. And so today, we're just going to have a conversation. What do you think if we just have a real conversation about brain health? Just you and us, we're going to have a chat. What do you say? Shall we?
Shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to share with the folks out there? Well, hey.
Hello, Sheldon from Canada.
From Canada.
How neat is that?
It must be kind of...
And Dave from Ohio.
I bet it's a little colder over there.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Oh, well, we're in New Zealand, and I just want to let you know we're in summer, and your spring is coming.
It's
I
coming.
promise you.
It's coming.
Promise. So what are we doing here? Well, you're probably asking that, and I just want to calm your heart and just let you know we're here to help you be wealthy. Well, what do I mean by that? Yes, we want you to be wealthy financially because it's like oxygen. We need money. But we also are referring to the Middle English definition of being wealthy. Well-being in your heart, emotionally, and spiritually. That's what it's all about. Helping you be wealthy long-term, having well-being. Thank you, Chastity. And because I'm a suicide survivor and by the grace of God, I'm still alive here to share this with you, I just want to give you a big picture of what we're doing here on the MD and Chef Team show. What I've come to understand through the research and through our experience is that we don't have a mental illness issue. Rather, we've got a brain health issue. We're focusing downstream with mental illness, with preventing suicide, with mental illness and suicide. We're actually needing to work upstream, and that is working upstream to prevent the downstream event, working upstream to help support our brain health. A picture that my mentor, Dr. Mark Hyman, has shared with me and others around the world is imagine mopping up the floor, but the sink is overflowing. And the faucet, nobody's turned off the faucet. Well, why don't we work upstream where the faucet is and turn it off so we don't have the mental illness issues, so we don't have suicide. That's what we're doing here today.
Wait, you mean there's a mess all over the place, and instead of just mopping it up, we can turn off the faucet?
Upstream.
Upstream?
I know.
Instead of just mop, and we're not getting anywhere?
That's right. Because we've been doing that for years and years and years, and look at the state that we're all in. We've been mopping the floor, but it still keeps overflowing. So that's what we're doing here for the rest of our lives. Is turning off the faucet.
Turning off the faucet. Yeah. And so today's conversation.
Yes. How are we going to serve the guys with the conversation
Well,
today?
today's conversation, my dear, is your brain on fire? Part 2. Now, after this, if you missed part 1, we'll go on back and catch part 1. We'll give a quick recap on that. But is your brain on fire? And what we're talking about with that fire is inflammation. Think of the word, and we probably all heard this word. It's out there all the time. Inflammation. Oh, you got inflammation that. But what we want to help understand that. And inflammation, just think of fire. And now there's 2 types of inflammation. There's acute and there's chronic. We're going to be talking about chronic inflammation today, but acute inflammation, which Isabel sees a lot in
Do we want to look at the menu
care.
For today? The schedule? I'm his backup. I'm his second brain.
Hey, look at that.
Thank you, Jenna.
Jenna, the producer's on it. She's probably sitting there going, well, is he
Michael.
going to look at today's conversation schedule?
It's okay. It's all right.
Of course. Why not? Let's do that.
Thank you, Jenna. Hey, I just want to let everybody know we are nothing without our producer, Jenna, okay? So just letting you know, we're all together. Jenna's in the background, yeah.
It takes a team. So today we're going to be, Is Your Brain on Fire? Part 2 is our conversation. And remember that questions and comments are open during all this. So if it's, if you like what you hear, you say, hey, wait a second, what's that all about? Then fire through a question. So,
no pun intended. Fire through that question.
Oh, yes.
I like that.
Fire through a question.
Yeah.
What is the fire and why does it matter? The biggies today is also how do we extinguish the fire? We're going to have today's big take home. So you want to stick around to get that today's big take home. And then we'll get into our couples relationship chat, because if you missed it last week, we're talking tips for remaining in love. Last week was part 1. This week, ooh la la, we are getting into part 2. Look at you giggle.
Keep it clean. Last time we talked about coupling, and I like that coupling idea. Yeah, it was good.
It was the G-rated.
It was G-rated coupling.
So now let's get back into fire inflammation. So inflammation, there's 2 types. We've got acute and we've got chronic, which we'll talk about in a moment. That's really what we're going to be getting into, chronic inflammation of the brain. But acute, as Dr. Isabel sees all the time at the urgent care, is when somebody comes in, they might have gotten cut. She's even got guys that have fish hooks cut in them, and she's got to take the fish hook out. But, when there's acute inflammation, that means something's happened and your body naturally says, hey, we got to take care of that. And it'll get sore, it'll get puffy, you'll get inflamed. It might even hurt for a little bit, but that's your body's natural response for healing.
Natural response, yeah.
So that comes on.
So that's just a little fire.
It comes on.
And then it goes away.
Then it goes off.
Yeah.
When the healing comes. That's acute inflammation. But chronic inflammation is when that fire never goes out.
Do you want me to put this on?
Yeah, go for it.
So I'm just going to keep this on for the whole show.
No, because your finger might get a little hot. When the fire never goes out. Chronic inflammation is when you might be walking around for years with pain. You might have gut health problems for years. There might be so many different things that what happens is we just put up with it. I hear it all the time talking to people. Oh, well, that's just me. I just put up with it.
And take pills for the pain.
Take pills. Well, there you go.
Turn off the faucet.
The mopping up of the floor. Let's just take some pills and cover up all the inflammation, the fire that's going on in our body. Let's just keep mopping instead of saying, oh, well, the faucet's on. Maybe let's figure out why is that faucet on? What handles are there that we can turn off? So then just a quick mop up and boom, we're good.
And boom,
we're good. Yeah, the fire and the boom.
And it's not people's fault, hon.
No.
It's the way, it's the culture in medicine is you've been trained to go to the doctor and get a pill to mop up the problem.
Yeah.
And then you get problems from the pill, and then you get another pill, and then it just snowballs and snowballs.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is, and we see it all the time with our clients, and what we do know through research is right now on the planet, 85% of the world's population is walking around with some type of chronic inflammation going on right now. Mm. And inflammation starts out of just this little small smoldering fire, maybe just a little something, a little niggly or a little pain or something going on. Maybe I get a headache every once in a while, but it's like, But then it just keeps growing and it keeps growing and it keeps growing.
Into a bonfire.
Into this big bonfire.
Right.
And then that's when they come and see you in the office.
And then, and then us.
And in the doctor's office,
right.
Somebody like yourself.
Right.
In the doctor's office, like, I got all this going on, and now you're going to get a diagnosis for all the symptoms of the fire, and you're going to be given a mop to try and mop it up instead of, hey, well, how did you get here? What's going on? Let's turn off the faucet. Let's put the fire out. Mm-hmm. And that's the real key then, is to put that fire out.
And the thing is in conventional medicine, they don't know how to turn off the faucet. But in functional medicine, which is how Michael and I have been retrained, which is getting to the root cause by learning how to turn off the faucet, we know how to do that. So that's what we're here to share with you.
So before we launch into, is your brain on fire, I just want to bring up one thing. Then that's about, why does that matter? Now, I'm going to read this because I don't want to leave any of it out. Because, here at the NGBN TV network, we're all about mental health, brain health, physical health, being our best in all those areas. Why? Because our number one muscle is our brain. If we don't have great, optimal brain health, we're going to be in trouble throughout all of our body systems. But this is amazing when you start to understand this. Why should we care about chronic inflammation and brain health? Chronic inflammation has been associated with the following. Chronic inflammation of the brain associated with the following. Bipolar disorder. What's OCD?
Obsessive compulsive disorder.
Yep. Schizophrenia, depression, suicidal behavior, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. All of those are associated with chronic inflammation of the brain. So that's why we're going to talk about in the next few segments about, okay, what's some tips for extinguishing that fire, turning off the faucet so it doesn't keep flooding. But we're going to do that after we take a short break. Now, please keep in mind, if you are someone who is into optimal brain health and want to take a really deep dive and get into it with us, we'd love to have you join us in our Healthy Brain Club at DoctorOnAmission.com. Check it out after the show. We know it'll serve you well. We'll be right back after these messages.
You're watching the exclusive sneak peek of NGBN TV. Like never before, streaming content for men is now available, with more to come. Join us on this journey as we introduce you to content creators and shows that are here to inspire, educate, entertain, celebrate, and support men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. We can't do this without you, so please enjoy this sneak peek, but also share it with your friends and family, and help us connect with companies, organizations, brands, or nonprofits who align with our mission to save men's lives. This is the NGBN TV Sneak Peek.
Welcome to Tripping Through Transformation. I'm your host, Guillaume Poirier, and I'm inviting you on a journey that will expand your outlook on life. Join me as we delve into the realms of mental health, resilience, personal growth, community, and alternative healing. Through personal narratives and expert insights, we'll explore the transformative power of shared stories. Get ready to escape from narrow perceptions and dive into a world of diverse perspectives. Tripping Through Transformation is where stories become pathways to empowerment.
Hey everybody, listen, join me, Doug Brooks, aka known as Big Time, on the Big Time Show podcast to be seen on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Central and on Saturday afternoons at 3 p.m. Central. You need to come on hang with me. You know what? It's gonna be crazy. Yeah. Thank you, Brad.
Welcome back, you healthy brain enthusiasts, to the MD and Chef Team Show. Now, babe, you were talking about how chronic inflammation affects our brain health and how that can lead to schizophrenia, obsessive compulsive disorder, suicide, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's.
Yeah.
I mean, people don't understand this.
I know.
They're
it's not
like,
talked about.
Yeah.
But
so how do we turn down the chronic inflammation?
How do we start to extinguish the fire, turn off that faucet? Well, last week, we're going to give a brief on a couple of them. Last week, we talked about nutrition and exercise. Now, the reason why I'm so passionate about nutrition and I get into that so much is I'm going to go over here. I'm going to talk to those on stage left. What do you say about that?
Let's go over here and talk to them.
So let's talk to them. So with nutrition, what we talked about last week and why it's so important, I want to run a couple things past you because we don't normally think about nutrition and brain health. We might think, maybe I'm putting on some weight. You know, there might be some fat. There might be some different things going on physically below the neck, but we don't think about what can happen up here. Well, please understand, in our gut, we have more neurons in our gut than we have in our brain.
That blows my mind.
More neurons.
He read this to me the other day from a book
brain.
that we're reading. Yeah.
So understand that, when we hear this thing, and maybe you've heard about it, where they say, the gut's your second brain. Well, it's actually got more of the neurons in it than your brain does. And there's a direct connection that's talking 24/7 through your vagus nerve from the stem of your brain right through to your gut. In the very bottom of that nerve are these little fingers, almost like villi, that go into your gut health, just right down in there. And what's going on in your gut, and let's just say you're eating fried foods, fast foods, McDonald's, I use the example, Kentucky Fried Chicken, all this kind of stuff constantly, and your gut health is thrown off, that's actually going to be talking directly to your brain. And what it does is it changes the hormones. It changes what's going on. As the talking to the brain, it's saying, well, normally I'd be doing this, but I'm a little messed up.
You got me messed up and brain
now you're
foggy.
going to get this and you're going to get that, and it's out of whack and out of proportion. So just go back to last week if you want to learn a little bit more about the nutrition part. But I want you to understand is that the brain and the gut are talking 24/7 a day in your body. And if this is off down here, it's not just about putting on some extra weight around the waist or the hips or whatever it may be. It's actually throwing off your gut microbiome, and that is talking directly through the central nervous system right up into the brain. And it actually activates some of the wrong type of areas of the brain, turns them on, turns them off, and it throws the whole thing out of whack. And then the brain does the same thing into the gut, and and all of a sudden the system's just a mess. So that is why nutrition is so crucial. And I wanted to make sure that we all understand, nutrition, no big deal.
No, it really is. It's number one.
Yeah, what's it got to do with mental health? Well, that's it. So what's going in is going to be basically talking to your brain saying, oh, okay, wow, that was really good. Man, that was some wonderful veggies and some clean protein and some good fats. And wow, I feel really good. And just talking and everything's in balance. And now the brain starts to be in balance.
And the brain can think and do work for you.
Yes.
But if you dump in junk, you get junk.
So if you want the more longer version, last week's show, we really got into nutrition and what you can and should not be doing. Okay. And then the second one we talked about last week, how to turn that off, is exercise. Okay. Well, what's that got to do with the brain? I mean, our body. Yeah. Okay. I want to have strong muscles. I want to look good. I want to look toned.
But I don't like to exercise.
I know. Me neither.
Yeah, I know.
What did we do? I mean, what did we do when we said we did it earlier today and we worked out?
I know. And I love the way you exercise. You look hot, but your exercising doesn't affect me. It doesn't. Your lifting weights doesn't make me stronger. Like I got to do my part, which I personally don't like doing, but I do like the results.
Yeah.
So if you're somebody that doesn't like exercising, I get
Yeah, but your exercising inspires me. Oh, that comes later in the relationship part. But exercise, what we don't realize is about brain health is, I see Jenna, the producer, put in the chat 100 squats. Well, she's on.
Let's talk about 100 squats.
That's a biggie. What we know through our training, and this has to do with our training for preventing and reversing Alzheimer's, is leg strength is a direct correlation to brain strength. So yes, guys, work on your upper body, work on your resistance, but do not overlook the legs, because the quads, the biggest muscle group in the body, have a direct correlation to brain strength. And so we want to be strong. We want to have good, strong muscles, but your exercise, just keep, and again, if that's not you right now, that's cool. Just get moving. Try to get up to 9,200 to 10,000 steps a day as a minimum to keep yourself going. But you just want to get the body moving. But why? It'll get the blood flow going. So you start to get more of a better blood flow to the brain. And actually, in some upcoming episodes, Isabel's going to be talking about, your doctor, Isabel, is going to be talking about blood flow to the brain and how to increase that. But exercise is one of them. And so leg strength, blood flow, getting the body moving, exercise is so crucial to the brain. Yeah, don't skip your leg days.
That's right, Sheldon. No skipping.
Don't skip those leg days. Very, very important.
Yes.
And I can tell you, with all of our Alzheimer's clients, we have them working on squats and lunges all the time to keep them strong, to work on those legs.
Let's see. Chevy and Nasty has a question. Can I bump my head and feel groggy and weird one day and then totally fine the next day? Asking for a friend. Great question. So there's this, your brain is amazing. I love your brain. I love your brain. Just imagine your brain is like 3 pounds of butter, soft butter. And there's a lot of sharp ridges. I'm just going to answer.
You go. Okay. That's a
and
great
there's a
question.
lot of
Fantastic
sharp ridges
question.
in your brain. Okay. And so just a bump, imagine bumping that soft butter against one of the ridges. Well, then that causes a blood vessel to break. You're not going to have intense bleeding, but it will cause you to have a thing called mild concussion. And mild concussion happens from that episode to 10 days. And you can feel dizzy and groggy, moody, problems concentrating. So yeah, Chevy and Nessie, that was a great question. Your brain repairs very well, but if you keep on doing it, then it's going to last longer. And sometimes it's irreversible.
Yeah. And as you always said, because here we are, we live in New Zealand and rugby's big here.
Without helmets.
And so, Isabel sees a lot of all ages, young kids on up to adult men who are out there playing, coming in with those knocks and bangs and, who get knocked out, or they're having trouble one day and then they feel good for a couple of days and then boom, all of a sudden it's back and it's coming and going. And so, that can just mean that there is something going on there that you definitely have to be careful and have keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
All right.
More on that on a later talk.
Yeah. Yes. Well, now we've got a couple more that we want to bring.
You've got time.
Okay.
We're doing good.
Okay. I didn't know.
So we've done the exercise.
Yeah. And again, exercise and nutrition, we really covered those last week. And so you can go back into episode 9 and see those in more detail. But just know that they are so exercise 1, nutrition number 1, exercise number 2 for turning off that chronic inflammation, that fire to the brain. So very important.
Now it's managing stress.
I
love this one.
Next one is stress. And again, the reason why I'm bringing this up about stress is because what we know, I'm going to go back again to that gut health, it's called the gut health axis, but basically our central nervous system connected from the brain to our gut. And managing stress, why is that such a big deal? Well, we're not going to eliminate stress. But this is not, eliminate stress. No, that doesn't happen. That's not life. That's impossible unless we're just, hiding in a hole somewhere. But, managing stress. Oh, it gets the heart.
Because I can.
Because you can, yeah. But why is managing stress to a good level so important to our brain health and our overall health? Well, because of that connection, what we do know is only 2 hours of excessive stress where maybe there's just something going on in your life. You might be having the holidays just passed. You might have had a holiday dinner with family that was, let's just say, not very nice. And you were just kind of the whole time. Or maybe you're traveling and you're missing the plane flights and you got to go here and you got to go there. And there's all kind of stuff going on in your life.
Or your computer crashes.
Well,
that might be something
I wasn't going to get too specific on that one.
Don't know who we're talking about.
Yeah, but, if a minimum of 2 hours, once you get to 2 hours with stress in your brain where you're just, your brain connecting to your gut will actually change the gut bacteria microbiome in your gut and start to throw balances off. So, when we talk about gut health, you might have been eating good and feeling good, but if the stress up here is going on for a period of hours, now that affects into your gut health, changes the composition of your gut bacteria and your microbiome.
That can increase your possibility of getting infection, foggy thinking, anxiety increases. So they're constantly talking.
Yeah, so that's, when we talk about, this relationship between the gut and the brain, it goes back and forth both ways. So why do we want to manage stress? Well, again, if the stress is up here, throws off the gut health. And guess what? If all of a sudden our gut health and our microbiome is messed up, now it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing with giving the right hormones being sent to the brain to function properly. The whole thing is going up and down. And we got a problem.
Big problem.
Now, I want to come back to this stress thing after the break. Okay. Would that be all right?
I'll let you.
All right. So we're going to take a short break. But hey, again, if you are somebody who really wants to dive into optimal brain health, come and join us, the Healthy Brain Club at doctoronamission.com. Check it out after the show. We'd love to have you join us. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hey, I'm Micah McCreary.
And I'm Rich Fry, and welcome to TrueX Outdoors,
the ultimate outdoor show.
So come tag along with us as we experience thrilling adventures in hunting and fishing.
From the mountains to the rivers, we'll bring you the most action-packed outdoor experiences.
Watch us now on NGBN TV.
TrueX Outdoors.
You're watching the exclusive sneak peek of NGBN TV. Like never before, streaming content for men is now available, with more to come. Join us on this journey as we introduce you to content creators and shows that are here to inspire, educate, entertain, celebrate, and support men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. We can't do this without you, so please enjoy this sneak peek, but also share it with your friends and family, and help us connect with companies, organizations, brands, or nonprofits who align with our mission to save men's lives. This is the NGBN TV Sneak Peek. Hey NGBN, it's Brian Jodas with Pick Up the Six Productions. Join us here at Pick Up the Six as we introduce you to the men and women among us who go above and beyond through service, purpose, and impact. Whether it's travel in the United States or right here from our studios, we can't wait to pick up the six with you.
I hope you got a healthy brain snack while you were away on commercial break, because I was watching you.
A healthy brain snack. Oh,
Yeah.
what did they have? Some nuts, some seeds,
Avocado.
maybe
and-
some olives.
Yeah. Oh, that's a
Ooh,
great idea.
Yeah.
Because you know what? It's time to buckle in and continue on with the MD and Chef Team show. Let's go.
We shall. Yeah. So we were talking
Jenna
about
says she had
stress.
real veggies.
Real veggies.
Real veggie chips. Bravo, Jenny.
Nice.
Jenna.
Yeah,
Oh,
so we were talking about stress and just understanding that relationship that, chronic stress, this chronic inflammation of the brain, because again, this goes back to that fire in the brain. Understand when you have stress and it's prolonged, that's fire in the brain that's actually throwing off our microbiome balance gut health wise. And then that affects back up into the brain and throws our brain health off. So that's this never-ending cycle. Yes, we are talking about that, how the chronic inflammation affects the brain. Thank you, Jenna. So stress. So what can we do about stress? Well, we want to manage it.
there's so much we can do. So have hope.
Yeah.
Just because life goes pow, pow, boom, boom, you are in control on how you respond. Yeah. And you don't have to go to the alcohol. You don't have to go to the food. You don't have to go to pornography. You don't have to go to gambling. All the things we do to numb out. We're going to talk to you about simple things that you can do. And that's where most people go. So, a couple just to start off, and then we got a great surprise for you. One, if you're into prayer. I mean, for us, we're into prayer. I mean, in the morning, we cannot launch into this world without our prayer time in the morning, without our God time in the morning. We have to prepare ourselves for this world, because this world is going to come at you. And you know what? I am not fit for human consumption if I don't have time with God and Jesus, because you know what? If I don't, I will be like, we send her to her room. Yeah. So that's what we do, just to calm ourselves down and get ready and armored up for the day. Yeah, so you're into prayer. You might be into meditation. Maybe meditation is your thing. Whatever. Maybe it's yoga. Maybe just, doing a yoga class, or even at home, just in the morning, you got a half hour, 10-minute routine of yoga, or even during the day, because this is something you got to practice all day long. Because I know for me, I need to go into prayer a couple times a day, because man, sometimes when the day comes at us and stuff's coming, I got to take a break and just allow everything to come down. And you know what? Just even saying a word that calms you down. Like for me, I'll say peace, or for me, I'll say Father God, or for me, I'll say Jesus. Just saying those words just calms me down. Whatever those words are for you, just find them and say them to yourself quietly. Nobody else needs to hear them. But you know what? Your brain needs to hear it so that you can calm, or you can say, I'm safe, or I am loved. Just those types of things help heal your brain. It helps calm you down. And there's things like breathing techniques that are out there. You can look those up, and I can share. You want to go with them? Do I have time? You got to go. Yeah, you go. I love breathing. Good breathing. Just slowing down the breathing. Which just before you launch. Yes. Before you get on fire. Nutrition-wise, just a real quickie. When nutrition hygiene, when you're eating your meal, breathe. You do not want to eat stressful. If you are eating stressful, that food is not going to land properly. It's going to throw off your gut microbiome. That even if it's eating good food and you are just chomping and putting it in there, it's going to cause stress factor, and it's not going to be as, shall I say, as nutrient dense as you would like it to be, even if you're eating all the good stuff, eating all your veggies and greens and that. So spoken like a true champion. And I had to learn that, 30 years, I don't know, however long in the hospitality, being an executive chef industry, and just go. Okay, I only got 2 minutes to eat. And that's so bad for us in our digestive system. So that's a food hygiene, nutrition hygiene for you when you're eating. And chew your food. Like, you essentially want it to be like liquid before you swallow. Because the digestive system starts in your mouth with the saliva breaking it down. It starts here, not down there. It starts here in your mouth. Yeah.
All right, breathing techniques. You had that.
Okay, so breathing techniques are really neat because nobody knows that you're doing it, but you do, and your brain knows, and your brain is always listening to you. So what you want to do is deep belly breaths. So a deep belly breath is, we're always breathing like this. Well, this tells your brain that you're stressed out. Shallow breathing tells your brain, I'm stressed out. Okay, just think about it. If you're running from a lion, you're not going to take deep breaths. You're going to take shallow breaths to try and run and sprint, right? Okay, picture tattooed in the brain. Now imagine, you're eating grapes by a stream and there's no lions and you're safe. Okay, you're going to be breathing differently. You're going to be breathing in your belly, long breaths. And that tells your brain, I'm safe. I'm not stressed out. So here's how you do it. Always remember, you want to breathe from your belly, deep belly breath. So you want your belly, take a deep breath in through your belly and out. And you can do it through your nose. So deep belly breath in through your nose. And your belly should be coming out, and then let it out through your nose. And the rhythm to that is breathe in through your nose with your belly going out, 4 counts, then hold 2 seconds, then let it out 6 counts. So it's 4 in, hold 2, and let out 6 counts through your nose.
Sleep.
Well, it does. You just do maybe 2 or 3 of those, and already your brain's like, I'm safe. I'm not stressed out. And it really works. I still do shifts in the emergency department, and I'll tell you, I'm like,
do some deep breathing when you need to. There.
Yeah, and I noticed that when it's full on, I'm like,
there's no deep breathing when I got 5
things going on.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay, but I've learned how to deal with that. So I learned how to do this. Let's see, Chevy and NASA, we are taught square breath in firefighting training. Yep, that's absolutely right. That's a good one too.
Conserve air. Yeah.
Yep, conserve air. And this is just another one. Yeah, 4. I like the square. 4, 4, 4, 4. Good.
Yeah. Now, but what about something like laughter?
Laughter? Did I hear you say laughter?
Oh my gosh, did I uncover something here?
Yes.
Does laughter help reduce stress, the chronic inflammation of our brain when it's on fire?
Yes, it does.
Well, tell me about that.
Do you want to hear about laughter?
I want to hear.
I'll tell you about laughter. Your body doesn't know the difference between a fake laugh or a real laugh. Like, for instance, if I go for no reason, my brain knows, my body knows, my diaphragm's going up and down, and I'm happy. There's nothing for me I'm not laughing because Michael's doing something funny. It's just I'm forced laughing. So we're going to teach you how to do something that you can do throughout the day and make yourself happy, okay? Without anything that you're seeing. So let's see. I have done laughter yoga class.
Yeah,
so I've done laughter yoga training, and I'll tell you, it's really helped. So now,
may I say, with what we're about to do, we have done it and taught it actually to neighbors and friends who were at dinner, and everybody, we kind of got in this conversation that really, was kind of junky stuff of the world. And then we needed to break it a little bit. Everybody kind of was like, okay, gosh, can we get out of this? And
I got an idea.
And we did this. And you know what? When we see them from time to time, they're like, and then they launch into it. And we're like, yeah, begin. And they're like, I feel so good now.
So you ready?
So you're ready. You got to feel good.
All right.
Here we go.
So here's what you do. You go, I'll do one. Let me do it first, Ben. Sit down. Get back down. So here's how we do it. We go, very good, very good, very good. Yay! So you do that 3 times. We'll do it 3 times. Let's all do it 3 times.
Come on. Come with us.
And imagine you doing this with your kids. Like, your kids do something amazing. You break out, or your wife makes an amazing meal, and here's what you do.
Yeah.
Ready?
Ready? Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and
Very good, very good, very good. Yay!
Very good, very good, very good. Yay! A very good, very good, very good.
Yay! Now, no, you just
Come on.
You just gotta feel good.
All right.
It just gotta feel good.
Good.
Ah,
Yeah,
see?
Sheldon.
It just relieves the stress.
Do it with your kids, though. They'll be like,
Yeah.
they'll be happy, but don't do it in public because you'll probably embarrass them. So that is a quick way to get
Not like us in public with others at a dinner party.
Jenna like that too.
That'll
Cool,
make
Jenna.
you feel good.
I'm glad you're laughing behind stage.
Oh, look what time it is.
Look what time it is. It's
time.
Jenna, it's time for the big take home.
It's time for today. Yes, time for today's big take home. And I'm going to check my notes. Well, we didn't even quite get there, but today I just wanted to, for a big take home, let's go over here and talk to the folks on stage right. Let's go stage
Where, over
right.
here? Mine?
We'll go stage right.
This is my camera.
Let's talk to the folks over here. So for today's big take home, we want to talk about hydration. Hydration, we didn't quite get to this, but we'll just for a few minutes now. Hydration is so important for our brain health.
80%?
Yes.
Of our brain is water.
It's water. It's in water. So we need to keep our brain hydrated. Now, when we talk about hydration, we're not talking about alcohol hydration. We're not talking about soda pop or whatever you call it in your part of the world, like fizzy drinks, they call it here. We're not talking about black teas and caffeinated drinks and hot
energy
chocolate,
drinks.
energy drinks. We are talking about just pure
or fruit juice,
water,
or even fruit juice,
sugary fruit juices. Now, what you want to be looking at, let me give the formula.
I can give it to him.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're in the part of the world where you do kilograms, then it's 30 mils per kilo. 30 mils per kilo. So for instance, if you're 70 kilos, which is about 150 pounds, 70 kilos, then that's about 70 times 30. It's 2.1 liters of water a day. And you want to break it up into fours. So you're not drinking all 2 liters at one time. Because if you do, guess what happens? You'll have a seizure because that will dilute all the chemicals, your neurochemicals in your brain.
And that's just your baseline. If you're having coffees, if you're having some other drinks, if you're working out and doing a lot of other things, you'll need to top it up even beyond that.
Yeah. And if you're in the part of the world where you do pounds, then it's 1 ounce of water for every pound of weight.
Right.
So you can do the calculation and talk to your doctor. If you've got heart problems or kidney problems, talk to your doctor, okay? Because you might need to decrease that dose.
That proper hydration is so, so important for brain health and keeping us from going up and down and crashing all day long. And caffeine, just a quickie, just so you know.
They're not going to like this.
No, caffeine.
I know, but they're not going to like what you're going to tell them.
Well, 2 a day.
Well, too bad.
2 a day. Because we do know through the research, and this has got to do with cognitive decline, Alzheimer's, dementia, which is part of brain health. And also it does affect us as far as depression and suicidal thoughts. When we have more than 2 caffeine hits a day, 2 coffees, 2 whatever it may be, 2 energy drinks, when we go beyond that, we start to see a negative decline in benefit to the brain because it affects the blood flow to the brain, which is Dr. Isabel addressed that one in the upcoming episode. So it starts to lower the blood flow to the brain when we have too much caffeine. And alcohol, if you don't drink, don't drink.
Yeah.
Otherwise, keep it to 4 drinks a week maximum.
So your big take home is
I got that in there.
Water, water, water. Hydration, hydration, hydration. That's the take home.
Keep the brain flowing.
Yeah. So you can think.
All righty. Well, we're back over here.
Okay, back over here. There's the camera.
We're going to have to take a short break. We're going to have to take a short break. However, if you want to learn more about us here, that MD and Chef team, you want to learn more about us, go to doctoronamission.com and you'll see all kinds of goodies there, freebies to courses, to our membership. We'd love to have you pop on over after the show. And we'll be right back after this message.
Hello, my name is Charles Schultz, host of The Edge of Greatness. I hope you choose to join me on a journey into discovering the greatness in your life through the exploration of 7 pillars: purpose, mindset, resilience, discipline, commitment, people, and courage. Hope to see you there.
You're watching the exclusive sneak peek of NGBN TV. Like never before, streaming content for men is now available, with more to come. Join us on this journey as we introduce you to content creators and shows that are here to inspire, educate, entertain, celebrate, and support men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. We can't do this without you, so please enjoy this sneak peek, but also share it with your friends and family, and help us connect with companies, organizations, brands, or nonprofits who align with our mission to save men's lives. This is the NGBN TV Sneak Peek.
Does life feel heavy at times? Does it feel like you could use a little more hope and encouragement? Hi, I'm Janine Lindquist, host of The Lookup Show on NGBN TV. Tune in for insights that I'll be sharing to educate, encourage, and empower you to be your best self. You'll find that as you heal from the wounds of your past, that your scars and challenges can be something that propels you forward instead of holding you back. So join me on The Lookup Show as I give you some things to think about and leave you with something to smile about.
That spot that you saw right now, that commercial break, well, you know what? That could be your space. If you're at home or at work or in the car and you're listening to this and you're thinking, I've got a business, I've got a product, I've got an organization that I want to share to thousands of people, thousands of men, well, then you know what? That space is available for you at affordable rates. We've got sponsorship spots available for you if you're interested. If you're interested in reaching thousands of men, and come and join us with the NGBN TV network to help stop all of this mental illness that we're seeing and stop all of the suicides that we're seeing in our men who are our fathers, our brothers, our friends, our leaders, our uncles, our sons. If you want to join us and share your product, your business, your organization, then come and send us a message at info@Doctor on a Mission, and we'll let you know about the affordable sponsor rate spots that are available for you. They're very affordable. Come and join us. We want to do this together. We can only do this as a united front, okay?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you for that spot.
I get so emotional.
I know you do.
Because I know what's happening out there.
I know you see it all the time in the front lines. I mean, I do too, but you really see it.
Yeah.
And so today, we at the end of the show, or nearing toward the end, we always get into a relationship chat and a relationship conversation. So today, it's about remaining in love, part 2. We did part 1 last week. I think those guys are in love.
Yeah, I think they are too.
Yes.
I need the sunglasses.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Those are nice. Yeah, those are cool. And the hat.
Yeah, and the hat and the scarf. That looks pretty neato.
All right. So remaining in love today, part 2. Well, what's one of the biggies is filling his or her, whoever I'm talking to today, because I know there's women that watch our show too.
Yes, about 30% of viewers are women.
Yeah. How cool is that?
Yay. I love that.
It's about filling his or her love tank. And what I mean by that is so that they, there's what's called this, I wrote it down, it's called relationship entropy. And that's just like exercising muscles. I think most of us understand that if we don't exercise, we're going to lose our muscles. They're just going to kind of waste away and be gone. Well, relationships are the same. they can waste away and just kind of turn into, I guess we're just kind of roomies or whatever. And, and so we have to work at it. This is work. This is the continual work. Isabel and I work at our relationship every day.
All the time.
I mean, it's easy.
It's easy now because it's habit.
Well, it's easy for me because you're so beautiful and wonderful. But I know you got to work hard to stay a little.
No, that's not true, honey.
But it's work.
Yeah.
And so when I say about filling up your spouses, your mates, your partner, whatever word you want to use, love tank. There's what's called the love languages, and you can check this out. But there's 5 of them. There's acts of service, gifts, physical touch, words of love, and time. And so what's good to understand is if you get a chance to read that book, actually, I mean, guys, don't be afraid to read the book, even though it's a pink book or a purple book. It's actually great if you want to really start to understand your wife, your spouse, what's going on in their life and what turns them on, because that's what we're talking about. Really, what turns them on, what fills up their love tank. You start to know that sometimes, like, if someone's not into, they might be into intimacy, but on a daily basis, physical touch is not a big deal for them. Some people just aren't as touchy-feely as others. And if you're trying to be all touchy-feely and that's not their thing, well, you're not really, you're not hitting the right buttons there, shall I say.
You're not going to get into coupling.
You're not getting into coupling. You don't get that, well, watch last week's part.
Yeah.
But that's the G-rated version.
Yeah.
But and gifts. Well, some people like gifts just really turn them on, and others are like, yeah, okay, gifts, thanks, but no big deal. Okay, well, understand. Acts of service. I know from my beautiful Isabel, she loves acts of service. She loves the things that I do, even the simple things like, because I'm a chef, I cook every meal every day for us.
Don't tell them, they'll get mad. But I'm a good cleaner upper.
Yeah, and that's an act of service too.
Yeah.
Or even making the bed, we kind of take turns, or whoever's got the time to make the bed, it's like, okay, make the bed or do the dishes, whatever. But it's an act of service. And I know for Isabel, act of service is a good one.
Well, yeah, I mean, you joining me on the MD and Chef Team show and doing what you're doing, researching so you can do this talk, and doing everything on the NGBN TV network, which there's a lot behind the scenes. That's an act of service to me. Yeah. And time, I know, or words of love. I know words of love is a biggie for you. And what I mean by that is great affirmations. Oh, look at that. Good on you, nasty. Bravo. You used it for your kids.
Wow.
Strong man.
Yeah, great work, guys. And so that's what you really gotta, to have that longer, loving relationship. Understand, how do I fill the love tank of my wife, husband, partner, spouse, whatever it may be? Because yes, intimacy is fantastic, and you want to keep that up. But there's always going to need to be more than just that to really have a long-term loving relationship.
Mm-hmm. And you've done so good. You've come a long way, baby. So just so everybody knows, all of them are mine because I want all of them. But the big ones are acts of service and time. Those are huge.
Yeah.
Michael spending more time with me instead of golfing fills up my love language, which you do now, but in the past, you didn't do that. I was like, why doesn't he want to be with me? Oh, maybe because I got to do some work on myself. Well, then I did some work on myself, and now you spend more time with me. And you did work on yourself.
And I worked on myself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was good. All right, so
let's leave everyone today with some words of encouragement.
Well, words of encouragement. Empowerment, but also just this stuff, this working on your relationship is work, but just know that it works.
Just beautiful.
It works. That's why we've been together for 43 years, because it works, and you can work it. You can do that work. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I was walking the other day and I said, babe, I got this great idea. And he goes, great, very good, very good, very good. Yay! And I said, that's right. That's exactly what you needed to do. And so I said, let's leave them with hope in their heart. And so I want to leave you with some big hope. And that is, I call this my microphone tool. Okay. Now the microphone tool is for me to share with you that you carry a microphone. Did you know that you've got an invisible microphone wherever you go? And people are going to speak into your microphone and lift you up, or speak into your microphone and lift you down. Case in point, I'll give you a story. Mommy, when she found out that I was having bouts of anxiety and depression, she was like, you can't be talking about this in public. This is hush hush. Don't be talking about it. So I, here I am on Doctor on a Mission all over social media talking about microphone and the volume, okay? So always, always remember that. And remember, you were born to be a blessing in this world.
So take us out with the Cuban music so we can dance a little bit, and let's leave them with one last laughter.
Ready?
Make it feel good. You ready?
Let's go!
Very good, very good, very good. Yay! Have an amazing night, day, wherever you are in the world.
And remain unstoppable.
Thanks for being with
Bye.